how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a Dance of Dragons, the War for the Iron Throne. This is a complete overhaul mod for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord and is releasing into beta access this weekend, with of course the release of the brand new Season 2 of the House of the Dragons. So after watching the first couple episodes, if you get the itch to play, definitely go over to the link in the description and check out this brand new mod because it is absolutely massive. Oh, just a little thing here from post-edit Jackie, just to let you guys know that I mentioned in this video that this is releasing. Unfortunately, this is only releasing for their Patreons in beta on the Sunday, and then I assume later on down the line it will release for everybody, so I just wanted to make that clear before I go ahead and contradict this constantly throughout this video. Here is just a small list of some of the features. I say small list, it's actually a very long list that the developer gave me, and then we'll dive into the campaign and we'll take a look at a few of these lists and some battles and other things up close and personal. So of course this is set in a completely different time zone than Realm of Thrones and the other Bannerlord mod. This is of course during the Dance of the Dragon, so all the characters you know and love will be there. We have a Maester at the towns who will heal you when you're at 25% HP. You can go to the Castellan chambers to recruit house-specific units dedicated to them settlements. When you form your own kingdom, you'll be able to go to your own chambers to create your own custom house factions. You can bend the knee when a kingdom is destroyed, and you can recruit their clans for golden dragons. There are a ton of custom voice dialogues throughout many of the NPCs, as well as culture appropriate troops for basically every single NPC faction. There is friendly fire in the mod, so now you're going to actually have to be careful when you're firing arrows into a melee, whether or not to hit your own soldiers, or if you just want to go full Ramsay Bolton and you don't care. Duels are now there before a battle. There are AI executions depending on the traits, so more evil characters will be executing other people they capture in battle. Ravens are there to send off to faraway lords to go and ask for reinforcements. A brand new custom time system has been implemented, allowing you to have 12 months per year instead of the 6 or 7 that were currently in the Bannerlord style. There are family trees, naval travel, increased party limits, increased party size, foreign recruitment fees, titles, custom music, new idol animations, diplomacy integration, house words, AI war calculation improvements, immersive battle features, cultural simulation. You can send people to the wall, custom intro video, redone character creation, custom weather, local farmers, spreading the word, and milk of the poppy, along with a ton of other things which we'll be checking out in today's video. So yeah, that's basically a lot. And if that's all you care about and you want to basically just go dive in, download this mod right now, again, link down below in the description. But let's actually jump into the dance and we'll take a little look-see about everything the mod has to offer in a bit more detail. So here is the start of the custom intro cinematic, looking really cool. Of course, obviously House of the Dragon. Nice way just to immerse yourself in the mod when you jump in, but after that you will be pushed into this screen. And do keep in mind that everything you're looking at now is a little bit of an older build to what you're probably going to be playing today when this mod releases, but also keep in mind that this is still beta. This is the first time them showing this mod, so again, lots of stuff is going to be seen to be improved over the next months, years, however long this mod takes to fully complete. But yeah, here you go. You have a few things which I really like the way they've done this. They've kind of embedded all the cultures in these subgroups. So you have Westeros, Essos, and Sophrios. I think that's more off into the east. But yeah, if you go to Westeros, when you click it and when you open up under all the different types of cultures, of course, as I mentioned, every single mod would love to see custom start things for all the different cultures. I think it's always really cool when mods do go there. But as you can see, there is a whole wealth of different cultures to pick from, and these actually have a pretty important thing, because if you were to, for example, to go ahead and select the Crown Lands, you'll be here and you'll only be able to play as the Andal race. But if, for example, if we go back and then say we click on the Valyrian, which is right here, you'll then be able to play as the Valyrian race, which will give you some different aspects and some different bonuses, again, which I think is quite cool. It'll give you different eye color, hair, etc. And that's the same for all the other different types of races. So again, if I was to go down into probably free folk, for example, I'd then be able to play as a giant or a first man as well. So it's very different in the way, and these cultures are kind of locked behind this, which again, it is nice to see. It's kind of an interesting way you can really start to role play more of your play style. On top of that, we also do have some different bonuses. So again, this start screen is still very much a work in progress, but there's a lot more options. So you're going to be able to specify your actual skills a lot more in the early game, which is nice. So you can kind of decide a lot more as you grow up and kind of get stronger and stronger. Again, some of this stuff is placeholder for some races, some stuff is very much going. But I kind of like this, again, just more leading into the role play of how you want to create your character and how you want them to start. They have also implemented, I believe, historical banners into the mod directly, so there is a ton more. So this little baby right here, which is obviously a bug but looks hilarious, you know, can go ahead and decide his house. And then once you've created it, you can also choose your house words as well. So this house is generated antler for me. Of course, I can change it, but maybe we're going to be like, I don't know, as sharp as sharp as what's sharp? Steel. That's quite a cool house word right there, the house antler, and that'll be, you know, people will say that to you when you talk to them in the campaign map, and tons of other stuff, which again is really cool. So here we are on the campaign map, and as you guys can see, it is pretty goddamn big. There has been so much implemented into the campaign map, and it's actually got a really nice level of detail as well. A lot of it, you know, still very much is a work in progress. Like, there's obviously a lot of textures in Essos that just haven't been done yet with roads and stuff, but again, for a first release of this mod, you can kind of expect that, and the majority of where the dance does take place around here has been kind of pretty much, you know, filled out in a lot of extent, and of course, stuff will just continue to improve. But as you can see, the map is huge. You go all the way off into the Dothraki Sea, and even further east than you would expect. There's even this really cool set of 5 walls again. So if you want to go and roleplay out here and prepare yourself for the White Walker invasion, maybe from the other side of the map, you definitely can. Goes down into the Summer Isles and other lands off in the distant places. So it is a really, really big map indeed. But of course, a big focus will be around here, and we do have many cool custom models right here. So this is of course Dragonstone right now, and you can see the queen herself is leading there in some beautiful armor. There's some really nice assets in this model. We'll be able to see that in some pretty big detail. As we go off, of course, you have a much larger part of the High Tides right here with Hull and the Valerians right there, and lots more detail down there. Again, you can see some more of the map itself looking very, very nice. Also, do note that there is a handful of these settlements which will look like this. They just don't have their textures yet, but again, you can see they're all custom models depending on the type of culture they are. So this will be very different, for example, and the castles, you know, in Storm's End and other things will be very different, for example, compared to, say, the lands in the Reach. Again, these castles look very, very different, of course, and they just need better textures more so than anything else. And you can kind of see some more of them up here in the north. And again, you can see, again, the ones in the Crown Lands, again, look very different, which I think is cool. We, of course, have King's Landing, completely custom made as well. It looks very, very nice indeed, and a lot of the Crown Lands looking great. You got Harrenhal right here as well, in its derelict state, looking nice. And the Riverlands, again, the Riverlands and the Vale, again, these custom setups of the walls and stuff. Again, it just kind of adds a lot of flavor. You kind of realize by just looking at the map, this is, you know, you are in the Riverlands or you're in the Westerlands, or, you know, you kind of gives a lot more detail to that. Again, the Westerlands right here, very white walls at the moment. I imagine these will be kind of textured a bit differently, as that's very, very bright white. The Iron Islands as well is a pretty vast, dark kingdom. You can see, obviously, all the different factions and stuff being added in. One thing I really like about this mod as well is the swampland between the Riverlands and the north as well. So Greywater Watch and stuff. It feels, you know, very much very swampy, and I think it looks really cool. This is like definitely a very cool place. I mean, obviously going all the way up into Moat Cailin as well, blocking it. It'd be really cool if you could completely block this off. I don't think that's capable in Bannerlord, but I think it looks amazing nonetheless. Of course, as you go through the north, a lot of the land, it will all turn snowy. I think maybe some of these mountains also could do with some texturing as well, a little bit more detail added. But again, the map is so big that there's going to be loads of areas and stuff to improve. Their main focus is just getting all this stuff down right away, and with the custom weather as well coming down and the rain, like, the atmosphere is absolutely amazing, isn't it? It really is. So if you go further north, of course, you have the wall itself. Lots of crow forts along the wall, which looks cool. And then you can even go beyond the wall, of course. And I love the land up here into Frostfang. Again, I think this looks absolutely amazing. They've done a really good job there. And there's just a lot of small details like this, again, which just look really, really nice. And that's scattered out throughout the campaign map. Again, as you go further down south, you've got a lot of lands right down here in the Arbor and the other territories. And again, you can even see as well with Old Town right here looking absolutely beautiful. Again, really cool stuff. There's a lot of detail scattered throughout there, and I think the campaign map itself looks awesome. They've done a great job with it, and as they continue to progress, you can obviously tell the areas that necessarily aren't done yet and areas they look to improve upon, but what is done definitely does speak volumes to the kind of final goal of the mod. So of course the map looks great, and again I'm sure will only continue to improve with more detail and other, you know, kind of all the assets being filled out. But again, one of the next big things after the campaign map is definitely the types of units that you're going to be using. So let's jump in and take a look at it. So these are going to be the Valerian recruits, probably the main forces you're going to be using as if you're kind of siding with the blacks, unless you want to go to a different house. And again, keep in mind we did mention that there is a system in the game where you can actually go and visit the Maester's Tower and actually recruit specific units of a faction like this and actually hire certain soldiers, companions, etc. Even buy Milk of a Poppy, which will heal you as well. So there's plenty of other stuff that you can do to recruit that. But the main kind of force right here is going to be the Valerian Footmen. I even like these like civilian clothes. I think look really, really good. And again, you can see some pretty nice kind of soldiers right here, again with the different types of sigils right there, whether you're more of the Valyrian in from Hull or you're kind of more of the Targaryen base soldier. There's a nice little mix right there. You of course also have your cavalry force, and then of course the sharpshooters as well. Then if we go back to King's Landing, and of course at this point in the mod, which is set, Viserys is still alive, and of course that is not going to last long, and the realm will kind of fall into chaos pretty quickly, and of course Aegon will take over and try and kind of right the ship and take what is not his. And again, you can see some of the Crown Land soldiers. Again, I believe this color changes depending on your own faction color, which is kind of cool. And you can see the different types of the units for the Crown Lands going much more for that more gritty medieval vibe, which I like compared to maybe the TV show of Game of Thrones. I kind of, yeah, really do dig this more kind of, I guess, more historical style of armor and some of the Crown Land militia. And this is something I think is kind of cool as well what they've done. So I assume that the militia are going to be the type of units that are going to be guarding castles. And I always hated it in Bannerlord where the militia guarding castles in the garrison were never any good. They were just like ragtag soldiers, and I guess that is a militia. However, this is a medieval society and these castles should have guards and stuff, and I think for gameplay purposes you want to have good defenders holding castles so it's not just a run over, and having this kind of militia tree for them for certain units is going to be really, really cool, because if you come up against this soldier compared to like a normal Sturgeon militia, it's going to be a much harder time of it. So I really like that, and again the unit rosters do look really. Of course, every single faction has their own unique soldiers. I think you can get house-specific soldiers, and then there's also a standard unit roster for, say, the Reach, for Westerlands, Crown Lands, the North, etc. The Vale, all have their own stuff. So again, you can see some of the Reach men-at-arms right here, looking very Mace Tyrell. This guy's looking very much like Mace Tyrell there, and I love the flowers on the chest piece as well. There's some really nice detail on that. The Knights look cool, and also keep in mind as well that there's a lot of horse armors as well, which I think is a really nice detail to add in. A lot of the time that does get neglected in mods because of course you want to focus in on the armors and other things, but it's nice to see nonetheless. And again, you can see some of their units there. Some of the militia, again, you come up against these guys in the combat, it's not going to be an easy fight whatsoever. So even the militia are going to be holding castles, defending, and I think it's going to make for much better gameplay than just like the basic soldiers who aren't very good. Yeah, actually having a proper army stationed there, because especially in war as well, you know, you would have these armies and they would be outfitted halfway decently. Again, represent kind of some pretty heavy breastplate right there. Again, bringing some heavy soldiers with the antlers on the soldiers. They even, I think, yeah, even riding stags into battle for their elite soldier, which is pretty interesting, right, for the cavalry. It's kind of cool seeing that though, right? It's a very cool kind of little setup. And again, the militia again is going to be pretty standard with some decent archers. If we take a look at the Northmen, again, you'll be able to see their soldiers kind of very much represented from the TV show. And again, even in House of Dragon, when we've seen stuff from the Starkmen and the Northmen, again, they're very much kind of repping this style of armor, which I think is cool. And again, it's kind of all you need for the Starkmen. And I definitely, again, I kind of really like the militia set of soldiers. So attacking and defending castles is going to be really fun, seeing these guys scattered around the map. Of course, we could continue on and taking a look at all the soldiers, but I think I've looked at the majority of the main ones, and you guys can, of course, check out for yourself. There are also a ton of custom keeps as well, so if we were to go to the Winterfell keep, yeah, I think there's a handful of keeps, and again, if I wanted to recruit some northern soldiers, this is how I do it from here. I could even muster an army as well, which is, again, a really cool mechanic. So if you do lose your army in a battle, you can go to these positions and spend money, and having this money sink is really, really cool, so that's other stuff you can do. But if we actually go to the Lord's Hall, we'll be actually see that there is a custom keep. I think there's, what, 4 or 5 custom keeps? Yeah, so this is, of course, the Winterfell custom keep, which, again, looks really nice as we run around. I don't think we were exactly fit for court, but still looks cool nonetheless. And if we open the gate into the hall, again, looks absolutely amazing, right? With the decor on the wall, the soldiers, there's a lot of characters scattered around. Look at this dude just straight up chilling right there with a huge ass sword. A lot of the knights and other family members here ready for war, ready to declare their legions. Of course, up here as well, we have Benjen Stark, and we have a Stark there as well as we go further back. And again, I like how these doors aren't like cutscenes either. You just go up to them, that one is. But if you go up to the doors, they just open. It's a nice little way of exploring. I really hope they add in mechanics to make you come to these places a lot more, because they're just so beautiful to look at. And again, I really like the idea of just like being able to close this gate and then kind of, you know, exploring elsewhere. Having these destinations where you can go is just, yeah, super cool. The next custom keep we have to look at is going to be Pike. So if we go ahead and visit it in here, and we go actually to the keep itself, to the Lord's Hall. Here we go. Here is Pike, and again, it looks really cool, right? And I love how it starts you out here, even though you're supposed to be visiting the keep. It starts you all the way out here and allows you to explore. Again, I love being able to open these doors, just that interaction. And I mean, look at this. Look at the throne as well. That Kraken throne room looks amazing. A lot of the Ironborn soldiers looking great. I mean, look at that goddamn axe on the back of Daemon Greyjoy. Looks incredible. I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a problem with some children like that. I don't think. I mean, I guess the Ironborn are just built differently, but still, nonetheless. And yeah, that throne, that squid throne, looks incredible, right? God damn. We have a couple more throne rooms to take a look at. So next, we'll take a look at the lands at Storm's End. So if we go to the keep here, again, Storm's End has its very own custom keep, which we have to see again set up like this. And I mean, wow, looks incredible, right? Again, I just really hope they find ways to utilize these scenes, because yeah, this is amazing, isn't it? Again, I don't know what's up with all the little children. I imagine that has been fixed, but yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Clearly a bug with one of the ages. And then you go, yeah, I mean, this place is just incredible, right? So many awesome setups. Not as cool of a throne, but again, it is what it is. And god damn, but a mighty war council. I think they are lacking like adults. Look at this dude. He's like, yeah, I'm just partying. Look at us go. Hell yeah, hell yeah. And the last custom keep that we currently have, I believe, isn't in Driftmark. I believe it's in High Tide. So if we go over to here, and then we ask to go to the keep, yeah, I believe it's High Tide, not Driftmark, that we need to take a look at. Yeah, here we are. So the head of the the head of the faction right here. Again, look at that. Like, man, it's beautiful. Just opening up. You have all these beautiful different helmets right there, scattered with different colors. The Valerian soldiers. Again, children. Obviously, clearly a bug that hasn't been fixed in this version. And just look at this again. Really beautiful stuff. They definitely crafted this from the scenes from the show and other things. Looks amazing. So much detail. These children are never going to stop me from laughing. It looks, yeah, absolutely incredible. They've done a great job. And yeah, that armor is just beautiful. It really is. And one last thing I want to show off before we do wrap this up is the awesome voice acting they actually have in the mod. If we go over to Daemon Targaryen and we send him a raven, again, this is one of the features of the mod that have been taken from Diplomacy. So we are now, and again, you guys get a nice little look at Daemon Targaryen himself, looking absolutely awesome. That custom armor is beautiful. But again, if we talk to him, he will go ahead and start telling us a little bit more about his brother, and I'll let you guys just listen in quickly.
But any man that calls him out in my presence, I will have their head. Only I have that right. Dragons can only be fools to other dragons, after all. Now.
So it's pretty cool to go ahead and hear that voice acting. I really do enjoy it, and I think it's a nice little addition of the mod itself. So that is going to basically sum up a lot of what is in A Dance of Dragons, the new Bannerlord mod. However, there is plenty more to discover. Definitely dive in and check this mod out. I'll leave a link down below to the Discord, along with the actual mod itself when they do finally drop the beta. I was assured it'd be sometime today, so hopefully we'll see that out there. And again, I'll link it down below in the description so you guys can check it out for yourself. Be sure to let me know what you guys thought of the mod, and I'll see you guys in the next one.